Hi there. Today I'm going to talk with you about how to tell if a layout plan or a sketch plan that you've got is any good or not. I'm going to give you 3 tips to know if it's a great plan or if it's a really rubbish plan. Okay, have you got any plans of your own? Design, somebody's sketched out a layout for you, but you're not 100% sure if it's really good or not? Click the thumbs up sign if that's you, because these tips are going to be really helpful for you to know whether that is actually a good plan or not. So I'm Jane. I'm a chartered architect and I'm the founding director of iArchitect. I specialise in working with homeowners of period property with potential, turning them into beautiful, comfortable, characterful homes that retain the original features and character, and using contemporary and eco design to adapt them to suit a modern lifestyle. So this is a common problem, to have some sketch plans done or some layouts and not really be all that sure about them, or to even get them built and then really not be very happy with the space that you've got. And it's very common when people work with somebody who isn't an architect. And there's a lot of people out there who, although it's illegal to do this, they will say that they're basically an architect. And so if they say they're basically an architect, they're actually not an architect. So what you can do to avoid that problem is check on the architect's registration board. Everybody who's on the architect's registration board is a fully qualified architect, and if they're not on the architect's registration board, they're not a fully qualified architect, and it's actually illegal for them to let you think that they are. So tip number 1 is, if you've got unused, dead, wasted space that's just not any good for you. Now that's quite a common thing. You often get spaces like that in a home, and you particularly often get that in a design that is not very good. So how can you tell when it's just on plan, so you don't go and build that when it's still at the plan level and you're able to change it? How can you tell? Well, what you can do is you can look at the plan and you can think through carefully at each space and think, what am I actually going to do in that space? How am I going to use it? What furniture am I going to put there? Am I going to put any furniture there? Do I need furniture to use that space for what I want to use it for? Will the furniture that I want to put in that space fit? So you can quite quickly figure out which spaces are going to be unusable by going around your plan. Get a nice coloured coloured pen and draw on the plan sort of little just bubbles on it, sort of bubbles. So this is where we're going to sit, nice big bubble, and then maybe check that your tables and stuff are going to fit on it. So draw a bubble. This is where we're going to sit and eat our dinner. Especially if you like sitting around a table, you want to have space to have that table. This is where we're going to sit and watch TV or chat, have friends around or family around. This is where the children are going to play. This is where we're going to be dealing with all the laundry, doing the ironing. This is where we're going to have the Christmas tree, if that's a really big important thing for you. This is where we're going to be getting washed and dressed. This is when you're going to be sleeping. Those sorts of uses that you do typically day to day. Maybe you really do a lot of you practice yoga, or maybe you watch Strictly and you enjoy dancing around and you want space to be able to do that. So think through all the sort of things that you like to do on a day-to-day or a weekly, perhaps a monthly basis. In the odd case, maybe like a Christmas tree on a yearly basis. Think about those things and draw little bubbles on your floor plan to show yourself, or to identify which spaces you're going to use and how you're going to use them. And if you find at the end of doing that you've got some spaces that haven't really got any bubbles on them and you don't really know what you're going to use them for, then that's dead unused space, and you don't want that space, because you're going to be especially if you're building that new, you're going to be paying to build that space, and it's not going to be benefiting you at all. It's just money thrown away. So then what you need is your plan to be redesigned, reconfigured, so that that space becomes part of the usable space, and it works for you for some of these activities that you want to do in your home. So, have you got any unused space in your home, or have you got some plans that have got this unused space? On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being you've not got any unused space and 5 being you've got loads of unused space, I'd love it if you could put in the comments below, put hashtag replay if you're not watching live, but in the comments below, if you could put in there 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, so 1 to 5, to let me know, roughly how much unusable or unused, dead, wasted space have you got in your home. So tip number 2 is circulation space. If you've got circulation space within a room, is not such of a big deal, because that contributes to the feeling of space in that room. So it's not so bad to have space that you move through in a room. But where it's a corridor space and the only thing that you can use that space for is really just getting from one room to another room, point A to point B, then that space, you want to minimize it. You don't want to have lots and lots of space in your home that is just for walking from A to B, because let's face it, you don't really want to spend all your time walking around your home, and you don't want it to be the case that there's places that you want to, say for example, there's a lot of people have homes, particularly Victorian terraces, where they maybe have the dining table and the kitchen are really far apart, and to get dinner on the table is quite a trek to get from kitchen to table, along the corridor. So that you want to minimize that as much as possible, really, because it will make your life so much easier, and less dinner spilt, and it will make for a much better plan. So how to tell if that's the case on plan before you go and build and pay for the work to be done. So what you can do is you can get 2 coloured pens. I like playing with coloured pens on plans. 2 coloured pens, 1 colour for circulation space, 1 colour for usable space. And then I want you to colour in the space that all you can do is for circulation. Colour that in your circulation colour. And then you can do this in rooms, colour in where you're going to be sort of sitting down or standing and cooking, or whatever it is where you're actually going to be doing. You can colour in that, and then maybe put lines across that space to show where you're likely to be moving across that space. So perhaps you might have a living room that opens out onto the garden, and you might also have the kitchen that's connected to that living room, perhaps, if it's not open plan. So draw lines on that space showing you moving from the hall perhaps out to the garden, and from the hall to the kitchen, and so on, and just typical movement patterns, how you would normally move in that space. And that can be really helpful for the next tip that I'm going to share with you. If you've got lots of corridor space in your home, with one client I've been working with, we've actually turned some corridor space into a family bathroom, so that we've made the family bathroom into an ensuite, and we've created a new family bathroom out of some unused corridor space. So now their 4-bedroom house has got a master bedroom with an ensuite and a family bathroom for the other 3 bedrooms. So it's you know, with this corridor space, you can really make the most of it and do something else much more useful and more valuable to you. So you want to make sure that your plans don't have corridor space that you don't need. You don't want to be spending money to build corridor space, really, do you? So if you've got lots of corridor space in your floor plan and you've done that exercise of colouring in all the circulation space, can you just leave some little feet emojis and tell me if you've got lots of corridor space, lots of circulation space, put lots of feet emojis. If you've not got very many, just put 1 or 2. So tip number 3 is what to do if you've got an awkward space, or how to identify if you've got an awkward space. So hi, if you're watching, give me a thumbs up if this is finding this useful. So if you've got a plan and you think, oh, well, I'm not 100% sure about that space, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fit. So if you've got awkward space, perhaps you've got a room with windows out to the door, a fireplace, another opening door that connects to another room, a door from a corridor. If you've got space like that, then what you can do to figure it out is cut out little furniture pieces of paper, a little piece of paper in your furniture size and shape, and position them on the floor plan and see how it is that you would actually put your furniture in that space. And if you're finding it really difficult to put furniture in that space, it's probably going to be quite an awkward space to live in and use. And in that case, you can, while it's on paper, you can get that space redesigned, change it, and then you don't have to build it like that. You can, what you actually build is going to be much better, and it's going to work for you and your furniture. So if you have problems with awkward space in your home as it is now, or on a floor plan that you're considering for an extension or a reconfiguration of space that you've got, then leave me an aubergine, because an aubergine is my favourite vegetable, and sorting out these sorts of problems of awkward space, dead, wasted space, far too much circulation space, all these kinds of issues, and sorting them out and making layouts that actually are really efficient and enjoyable and easy to live in. That is what I absolutely love doing, and I love doing that almost as much as I love aubergines. So if you've got that sort of space, leave me an aubergine emoji. And so if you're interested in getting my help to sort out your home layout, if you've got lots of dead, unused, wasted space, lots of circulation space, and you don't know how to fix it, I offer home design workshops where I can come and I can sketch out, I can assess it for you, find out what it is you really need and want, and then I'll sketch out how we can, different layouts for how we can resolve those problems for you. If you would like to have a call with me and a chat, see if it's something that I could help you with, then I'm going to leave a link in the description for this video above, and you can click on that link and you can book in a free chat with me, and we can have a talk about how I would like to know, what it is in your home, what's working for you, what's not working for you, what you'd like to do, and then we can talk about whether what I offer is going to work for you and be a solution for you for that problem. Okay, happy Friday, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. Bye for now.